Welcome to another episode of the Week 22 EPL review. It was an exciting weekend of football. So many surprises, so many goals, so many players, surprising fans. In this episode, we are going to review everything that happened over the weekend, from the goals to the surprising teams, to the upsets, to the teams who really did well, and to also the goal scorers. Please follow us on this episode because you're going to learn so much about your team, how good your team has been, and how amazing they are already this season, and the team that has been the most disappointed team of this season. Please, let's get into it. The first fixture we're going to talk about today is Newcastle-Bournemouth. Bournemouth has been exceptionally good this season. Newcastle just picked form a few weeks ago. Newcastle has been doing so well. The likes of Isak, Gimenez has been playing fantastically well. Bournemouth have surprised so many teams this season. Bournemouth has defeated the likes of Tottenham, Manchester United, Man City. Bournemouth has been so good this season. So good. Even with their injury crisis right now, they are still playing so well, scoring goals for fun. And one player who has actually stood out for Bournemouth this season has been Justin Kluivert. Remember, Justin Kluivert's dad played for Newcastle. But guess what the son did? He came and he shattered the team. 4-1 goals from Justin Kluivert. That hat-trick, he scored a hat-trick. Justin Kluivert scored a hat-trick against Newcastle. Goals for Milo Kerkez at the end of the game. And a goal for Newcastle from Raul Gimenez. It was a very disappointing game for Isak. It was a very disappointing game as well for Newcastle, because Newcastle has been on fire in the last couple of weeks, defeating the likes of Arsenal, defeating so many good teams, but they just fell to Bournemouth at home. It was a very disappointing game. The next match we're going to talk about today is West Ham Crystal Palace. Everybody was expecting West Ham to turn up at home after picking up their first win with their new coach, Graham Potter. Every football fan was expecting West Ham to pick up from there. Every football fan wants West Ham to actually pick point, because they have been so poor this season. Even before the sacking of their coach, their previous coach, they have been so poor this season. But they failed to pick up a win to add to the additional one which they won last week. But they failed to pick up a win. Goals from Arteta of Crystal Palace. 2 goals actually from Arteta. Arteta has been on fire. He has been so good. Just on the recent, he has been really good. Time as a team needs to understand themselves, needs to understand how good they can play together. I feel that team is a very good team. They just need to understand each other. They need to teach the issue of playing individual football. They don't need it in that team. They need to play as a team. The likes of Kudus needs to step up and play good football. I know that they lose their main striker, which is Antonio, to accident, but at least others are supposed to step up and play. Four that they bought from Dortmund was supposed to step up and play, but not be very good outing for them on the recent. They are not really doing well as it stands now, but they need to pick up points. They need to start winning games again. The next match we're going to talk about is Brentford and Liverpool. Liverpool has shown this season that they can win games, they can pick up points, even when they are not playing well. Liverpool has shown over and over this season that they can still pick up maximum points even when they are playing so badly. Stoppage time goals from Darwin Núñez. What a match! What a match! The match was all locked up from the start of the match till the additional time. It was a very tough game. Liverpool kept on pushing. At the end, they found the winner. 2 goals in stoppage time for Darwin Núñez, who came off the bench to score those 2 beautiful goals. It was a very disappointing match for Brentford, because they put up a very good defensive display from the beginning of the match up to the end of the game. But quality of the team will always show when it matters, and Liverpool stepped up and they won the game. They pick up all 3 points, moving ahead at the top of the table. And the teams behind them some of the teams behind them actually drop points, which I'm talking about Arsenal. The next match we're going to talk about now is Leicester City and Fulham. Leicester City has been disappointing. Leicester City has really been disappointing. When Leicester City got their new coach, Van Nistelrooy, they actually won a match or two, And since then, they've lost like 5 matches on the bounce. They've been dropping points and dropping points and dropping points. They haven't been really, really disappointed this season. How you go get new coach, you win match? Time for you to ride on that victory. You started dropping points. You started losing match back to back. This is one of the teams that had so much expectation coming into the season. If we want to go by about what they did last season in the championship, Leicester City they win match on his third now. Leicester City they win match back to back in the championship last season. But when they come Premier League this season, they become disappointing. They started losing games. They started dropping points. They had to sack their coach. They bring in a new coach. The new coach win one match or two. They started losing matches again. They have been really, really disappointing. Fulham has been so good this season. Fulham has been amazing this season. They've been picking points. They've been winning games. They don't care if you're a big team or a small team. They pick up points against you. They've been doing so well this season. Shout out to their coach, Marco Silva. He has been amazing this season. Some players have actually stepped up for Fulham this season. The likes of Iwobi, the likes of Smith-Rowe, Traore. They have been so good this season. They have been fantastic this season. Shout out to Fulham. Goals from Smith-Rowe, goals from Adama Traore. It was a very, very good victory for Fulham. They picked up all 3 points against Leicester City away. It was a very, very good match for them. The next match we're going to talk about is Arsenal against Aston Villa. Arsenal picked up a draw against Aston Villa, which was not a good result for them. Arsenal were supposed to cut the point gap between them and Liverpool at the top of the table, but they dropped points yet again. Imagine going 2 goals up against an Aston Villa team. 2 goals up. Goals from Gabriel Martinelli, goals from Kai Havertz. 2 goals up against Aston Villa. And you still bottle the match. You still had to draw point against Aston Villa. Aston Villa has been good, yes, of recent. They won their previous match against Everton away. And they came into this match with so much confidence. They said, no, Arsenal, we owe you for share too. Lie, we will win this match. Goals from Yuri Tielemans and Oli Watkins. Oli Watkins hasn't really been on form more like that this season, but he has stepped up when needed. He has stepped up in the last couple of matches. A match against Everton, he stepped up, and this particular match against Arsenal, he stepped up again. What a wonderful display from Aston Villa. What a wonderful display. Arsenal needs to step up. Arsenal needs to go into the market and buy players. Arsenal needs to spend the money. Arsenal needs to get an out-and-out striker. Arsenal needs to stop bottling games, need to stop dropping points, need to stop bottling winning the league. They've been on this winning the league issue for the last five years or so in this Arteta era. So Arsenal needs to win games. Next match we're going to talk about is Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest has been surprising everybody this season. The way Nottingham Forest they play like Champions League team. Nottingham Forest comes out to play you. Nottingham Forest comes out to play football. When it's time for them to defend, they defend. Have been so vocal about the combination of Murillo and Milenkovic. Those two has to be the best partnership this season for any team entirely. The way they play with so much confidence. Olaino has been good. Has been good in the defense. But shout out to Chris Wood. Shout out to Chris Wood. He has been fantastic. Fantastic this season. Scoring over 14 goals this season for a striker over 30 in the Premier League this season. Pushing his team to third in the league. What a performance for the Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest just won't do like Aston Villa of last season. They just won't do like Aston Villa of last season. Like the way that they play, the Champions League is their aim this season, and they might probably win it. They might probably qualify for the Champions League because they play so good. From their midfield to their defense to their attack has been fantastic. Shout out to Nuno Espirito Santo, who has been doing such a great job for Nottingham Forest this season. The next match we're going to talk about is Everton and Tottenham. Tottenham will always disappoint. Tottenham is the most inconsistent team this season. Just last week they lost to Arsenal. Now see them losing away to Everton yet again. Time that they were supposed to pick up all 3 points, ride on their confidence and start picking points again. They've been losing matches back to back to back. They've been dropping points back to back to back. Postecoglou, if you don't survive this season, you can get sacked at any time. This is one of the worst Tottenham team I've seen. One of the worst. Yes, they're battling injury issues, but this team has been disappointing back to back. Tottenham needs to step up. They lost 3-2 to Everton. Everton came out. Everton played so good. Played for their new coach David Moyes. He lost the first match actually to Aston Villa, but this match he has shown that yes, his team can step up. He has shown that he really means the toughest. Goals from Calvert-Lewin, goals from Ndaye, goal and an own goal actually for Archie Gray. Then for Tottenham, goals for Chalobah and Richarlison. It was a very disappointing display. Very, very disappointing display for Tottenham. Tottenham, I'm not surprised because they are the most inconsistent team. The next match we're going to talk about is Manchester United and Brighton. It was a very disappointing match for Manchester United. Manchester United won the last match, their last fixtures against Southampton. And before then, they've lost in their last 6 fixtures. Manchester United have won just 1. And it's against Southampton where they bottom of table. Now, against Southampton, they win. Well, it was disappointing. It was a very disappointing display for Manchester United, losing 3-1 at home. Onana making silly mistakes. Silly mistakes. It was a very disappointing match for Manchester United. Manchester United has been going down the drain. They fit go find oil because they go down the drain. It was a very disappointing match for them. They lost 3-1 to Brighton. Brighton has been picking up maximum points against Manchester United in the last couple of years. So it was a very disappointing display. Ipswich against Manchester City. Manchester City actually did so well against Ipswich. 6 goals to 0 against Ipswich. The same Ipswich that defeated Chelsea. The same Ipswich that defeated Tottenham. Ipswich hasn't been really so good this season, but Manchester City stepped up and put 6 goals away against them. It was a very disappointing match for Ipswich, but it's a very, very, very wonderful result for Manchester City, considering their bad form in the last couple of weeks, or considering their bad form towards the end of last year. It was a very good, very, very good victory for Manchester City. The last match for the week was Chelsea against Wolves. It was a good victory for Chelsea, having Chalobah come back from that loan spell to stabilize the defense for Chelsea. It was a very, very good victory for Chelsea. Very good victory for Chelsea. Goals from Tosin and an error from the most unreliable player in Chelsea. Guess who? Robert Sanchez. Very, very unreliable. Ball where it's supposed to punch like this. Ball where it's supposed to punch. Now you won't go catch. So it was a very disappointing play for Sanchez. But also a good goal for Madueke. Wonderful goal for Madueke. It was a very, very good win for Chelsea. Chelsea stepped up, and Cucurella, one of the most consistent and fantastic players for Chelsea. It was a very, 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 very good victory for Chelsea, considering their loss of form in the last 5 matches. Chelsea never win in 5 matches. But you see this match, they step up and they really show, say yes, they really need to qualify for the Champions League. Hit the like button. It goes a long way in actually pushing this video out. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to know what you think about these fixtures, about this week's results, and please subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe. It helps you get notifications on when I drop video like this. Please, thank you very much for your time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Cheers.